So my kids go to bed at 7 in the evening. So even if I don't meet all the 7 o'clocks in a week, I have to meet at least 3 of the 7 o'clock. So I bring my kids to school every morning. So I create the room for us to have conversations. And in recent time, we started playing Bible story for the last 2 weeks. So they ask for it now. They ask, oh, Daddy, let's listen to Bible story. So what is the Passover? And so those are the times that I've created to make sure that I spend time with them. And by doing that, I'm making sure that when they go to university, I will miss them, but I remember the memories that I've built with them because I'm present in their life. And I want to be present. I told my wife, when I retire, I want to follow the kids to play whether basketball or tennis or table tennis or piano or guitar, whatever it is they want to do. I want to be present in their life. But for me to do that, I have to work hard now, and I need to carry them along. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Hi, my name is Chief Noble Chibuzo Igwe, anyone of Omamak, Obefino Kefino Momak. My friend calls me Nobes. My wife calls me baby. My kids call me dad or papa. I don't know if people know about these facts, but one, I can't have my bath with cold water. Two, a lot of people think I'm fashionable. I've actually been nominated as one of the best dressed men in Nigeria. But if you leave me, I probably wear free clothing and slippers every day. What again do people not know about me? I hate driving. I started driving early, so now I hate driving, and I'd rather take an Uber than drive myself. I can watch anything. In terms of movies, I can watch anything. I would meet a movie halfway. I wouldn't leave it until I finish it. So it's a problem. And because of that, I always make sure I see an episode of a new movie or anything each night before I go to bed. Yeah, and I cry for movies. So I'm a very, very soft person. So I cry for Titanic. I cry for any movie anybody cried for. I cry for those movies. So yeah, that doesn't make me not be a hard man, but I do cry for movies. So those are 5 things. So a lot of people think I'm very involved in raising my kids, and if I'm on this table, in this chair, in this school, doing this interview, it means that I'm involved in my kids' education, and that should say a lot. So I feel like you have to be intentional about raising your kids. You want to be intentional. When people say, oh, your kids cannot be your friends, my kids are my friends. I kind of feel like I'm even in this battle to make sure that more of my friends than my wife's friends. But anyway, you need to be very intentional. You need to be very interested in your kids' development. You need to make sure that you play your role. You need to show up all the time. You need to let the kids know that if they need you to show up for them, that you would show up. And what that does for kids, like when they know that you will show up for them, especially when it has to do with school, they wouldn't want to disappoint you, and they'll try their best within their possible best to make sure academically that they come up tops. And for my kids, I'm rooting for them, I'm praying and pushing for them. I want to see them be head girls in this school, and that's the plan. Yes. So for the kids, they have to be truthful. Is important. You have to say what you think you've done, and we cannot decide whether you have to be punished or otherwise. You have to be truthful. They have to see you. I don't know about other people's home, but in our house, we don't tell the kids we're going out. We say things like, we're going to Kaima's mommy's house. We're going to Jeremy's daddy's house. We have an event, we have a wedding, a friend of ours is getting married. So we want our kids to be accountable as well. So they can never, if we go to the house, my kids can never say that their mommy went out. They will tell us precisely what we've gone to. And for those things, I think kids should be truthful, and you should approach your kids as adults. So I talk to my girls like adults. We have conversations, and even when they ask for things they shouldn't ask for, I ask them things like, do you think it's okay that daddy will go out to make all this money, then we'll go for swimming, then you want to eat pizza just a minute after swimming? So listen, people don't tell you what being a father does to you. Maybe they tell you don't listen. But the thing, like I was telling someone before now, I used to travel like a law. But when I started having kids, or when I had Jasmine, it became a decision-making conversation. So when people say to me, oh, I have an event in Abuja, a wedding, I'm like, is it worth me flying to Abuja? So before now, I didn't think about that. Before now, oh, when there's a turbulence, I'm like, oh, yeah. But now, I think it's bad. I always think, I just want to make sure my kids will be okay. And it sort of has affected a whole lot of things that I do. So I have to make sure that every single thing is like, I have to make sure that kids are okay. Like, you know, when you think about getting old, you're like, oh, you're going to get old. Are your kids going to be able to understand that sometimes people get old and they now pass? Can they deal with that? I know it doesn't mean thinking a lot, or maybe that's too much thinking, but I always, like, you know, at the point in time, I worry about my kids, and not in a bad way, but just making sure that I'm doing enough to make sure that they're comfortable and able to compete with their peers when the time is right. So I think you have to be intentional is the most important thing. You have to be present. Like, you know, so my kids go to bed at 7 in the evening. So even if I don't meet all the 7 o'clocks in a week, I have to meet at least 3 of the 7 o'clock. So I bring my kids to school every morning. So I create the room for us to have conversations. And in recent time, we started playing Bible story for the last 2 weeks. So they ask for it now. They ask, oh, Daddy, let's listen to Bible story. So what is the Passover? And, you know, so those are the times that I've created to make sure that I spend time with them. And by doing that, I'm making sure that when they go to university, I will miss them, but I remember the memories that I've built with them because I'm present in their life. And I want to be present. I told my wife, when I retire, I want to follow the kids to play whether basketball or tennis or table tennis or piano or guitar, whatever it is they want to do. I want to be present in their life. But for me to do that, I have to work hard now, and I need to carry them along. And that's exactly what I'm doing by being here. And to me, another tip is also for you not to see your presence in your kid's life as a punishment or something that you are doing just because no other person is doing it. I do this because I enjoy doing this. And I like the fact that I've been, like, you know, my kids tell me things that I am grateful that they're telling me, you know, that kind of thing, you know. My daughter told me the other day she downloaded a game, but the game allows people to chat with you wherever they are in the world. But my daughter came to me to say, oh, I don't like the people are chatting with me, and she was open to the game being deleted from her tablet. It's because we've taught her that the only people you can communicate with on your device is daddy, mommy, grandma, or your uncles. So those are the things that if you don't teach them or if you're not there for them, they can make mistakes, and that could spoil a lot of things. I'm an Igwe man, so the money is always important. So, you know, and I say this because, I mean, this is not me trying to make sure that I put money first or anything, but the thing is, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, right? You need to work hard, because funding things makes life easy. And when I can afford to fund those things, I can spend time with my kids. And everybody cares. I've told the people that cares, and I don't really, by the grace of God, I came from a rich home. But I've never really wanted to be overly rich. I'm not a guy who wants to be rich in everything. I don't have time for my family. So I want to be able to work, I want to be present, I want to be able to show up when they need me. So how I balance it with making sure that when they are in school or when they're on holiday or when I have work to do, I work so hard that even when I take out time from work to be with them, I don't feel like I'm missing money outside. So that's the balance. So I work hard to make sure that I have enough to not miss the time that I spend with them. And I also let them know before time what I'll be doing. So they can say, oh, if I have a company that shoot movies or shoot things, like I'll be like, oh, I'm shooting this weekend, but next weekend we have to go for swimming, or if I'm shooting in the evening, I have to go get pizza. I just make sure that I fit them into my everyday life, everyday life. So the thing is, kids watch, and kids sort of do what they hear and what they say. And I also want to say, like, it's a father's and mother's world. So it's not necessarily like a father's world, because the father could be a gentle one and the mother is the one that shouts. The kids pick up things. But the thermostat, meaning that as a father, you can sort of decide the temperature of the house by how you relate, not just to the kids, but for people who are married, to your wife or to your partner, depending on what you have in the house. And because they watch it and they say it, and you should be able to say. So for me, in my house, I don't spank. I have conversations. So meaning that I don't know how to beat. I want to talk about things, and I've realized that the kids, when I ask them, do you want daddy to be upset? The answers most times is usually no, and there's a correction, at least for now, that have an impact on them. But the thing I've realized that when I have conversations with them, and I then put it on the table, and I say, this is why you shouldn't do this. This is why you shouldn't ask for this. This is why you can't go to this person's house for a sleepover. I don't say no. I just give them reasons why they shouldn't do that, or why they can't do that at that point in time. So you can set the temperature in the house by how you speak in the house, by how you relate in the house, but what you let them do in the house. In the house, we don't have off limits. We don't do this seat for that, this seat for mommy, or the rest of them. We make sure that they know that this is our home. And my kids come to me when we have visitors in the house, especially kids, to tell, should we read out the rules for them? So the rules are like, you don't run on the staircase, you don't take water on the staircase, you don't play football in the living room, you don't do all those things. The reason we do that, but at the TV, there is staircase at the glass panel, so all those things. So when other kids come to our house, my kids make sure they read all the rules to them, so that way they can follow the rules of our house. And some of those rules also apply when they go out, so they know that we have a rule in our house, or rules in our house that guide us. So the kids, this is small, but it's also big. I'm Jasmine's daddy in Jasmine's class, and I'm Eliana's daddy in Eliana's class. So which means I will know Akira in Eliana's class. You get what I'm trying to say? I will know the people, I will know Ebere Chukwu, I will know the people who are my kids' friends and they know me. I will know Rashida in Jasmine's class. I will know, different people in her class, and it makes my kids happy. Because I'm sort of popular outside of school, so when other kids' parents tell them that they saw Jasmine's daddy, she's also happy when she comes home to say, oh, this person's daddy said they saw you, or they saw a picture of you on Instagram or whatnot. So being involved in school, making it possible for my kids to have this conversation is an interesting aspect, and I really love it. I really love that I'm here for them, and I will continue to show up. I will show up every day, no excuses for those kids. I like the fact that Green Spring School is not afraid to embrace God. It makes me happy. Like, they say prayers, they call Jesus, they do all the things that I was brought up to do. So it may look like it's not a big deal, but the fact that they embrace God makes it a big deal for me, because it means my doctrine, the one we go to church, what we're taught in church, what the kids experience in church is also what they experience in school. So there's no disconnect. It's more of a continuous approach, and that, to me, amongst other things, is good. And I like the fact that parents also go to the classes to pick their kids. That's that level of family, and that's also what the church has taught us. Yes, it's interesting. So, simple thing. Today, somebody tweeted on Twitter to say, oh, I like to send my kids to Green Spring sometime. And I DM'd her to say, my kids are at Green Spring. If you need me to put in a word, let me know. That's how much I do it. It means, like, if I could recommend Green Springs today, that means it's something that I do every day. I'm involved. Listen, you can ask anybody. Listen, if I see anything happen that Green Spring will partake in or will gain from, I let the school know. And yes, I'm involved. So it's a 10 over 10. Or even probably 11 over 10. Well, yeah. She said 10, let's keep it to 10.